welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Joey Evans.
Welcome. Today is the day. Today is the day our Gamefound campaign launches.
Woo-hoo!
You can find out more about that
Go!
at supportdicetower.com.
Yes.
Also, today is the day of Thursday, and we got some stuff coming for you later today. We have
The 4 coins?
4 coins.
Ah,
We'll do a live stream during the Gamefound launch. Before coins we're going to continue 2 weeks ago.
We're stuck in an elevator, right?
Yeah, we're waiting on customer support.
Yeah, we've hit the button.
Right.
And I hit the little, to get the free fire hat button.
Yeah, and they're delivering it.
They are. So we're waiting on the fire hat.
Like, if you're stuck in an elevator, would you be ordering from Amazon?
I would be crying if I was stuck in an elevator.
I wonder how long I could go. Am I alone in this scenario?
Is alone better or worse?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Worse.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know.
Is it strangers?
Strangers?
Yes. I like strangers more than people I know because I'm already talked out with people I know.
You're never talked out. What are you talking about?
That's true.
It depends.
No, I think the first thing I would do is I would sit down, right? You want to kind of chill. But what if you're stuck in an elevator? I've never...
I am
one
not
of those ones where
sitting...
you're super crowded.
I'm not sitting down if I'm stuck in an elevator. I mean,
You're gonna stand
I
the whole
might.
time?
No, I might sit down. But certainly the first thing I'm doing is not sitting down.
Good point.
I'm going to be nervous for a while.
Super crowd would be far worse than alone.
Yes, of course.
I don't know.
Especially if you have to go to the bathroom. That's like my biggest fear.
That's your biggest fear, being stuck in an elevator, having to go to the bathroom?
It's in the top 10. They call that hypoelevicaturitis. I should probably...
Phobia. End with phobia, and you're good. It doesn't matter what else disgusting things you said. All right.
Welcome to the Dice Tower, folks.
If you want more content like this, folks, then don't back us. If you do want quality content, we need the money to come up with better jokes. It's Joey's job to write better jokes.
Yep.
And it's lean times.
All righty. Well, we got a lot of news to go through, folks. So let's jump right into that. All righty. Well, we already mentioned the top news of the week, which is the Dice Tower Gamefound campaign will be launching later today. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But let's talk about unfortunately, some sad news. First, Alan Emmerich, who is the game designer and writer who coined the term 4X, has passed away. He wrote and did some stuff for Consum World. He was the founder of board game publisher Victory Point Games.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, so Victory Point Games, they've done a lot of different games. He also worked on a lot of video games way back in the day, including Master of Orion 3, of which we just played.
Yes.
The board game version of yesterday or 2 days ago. And he was a consultant on a 2016 Masters of Orion remake, and I really need to hunt down a remake of Masters of Orion.
I played it the other day.
The video game.
Then no, I did not play.
You were right about that joke, Dearth.
Yeah, I hear you. We need the influx.
That's why we have a game.
Okay. Oh, this is sad. Yeah, I like Victory Point games. As a company, they had an interesting idea. They did it differently. It was not just another publisher.
Really?
Whether you liked what they did or not, they were different.
All right. Diamond Comic Distributors has declared bankruptcy, and they own Alliance Game Distributors, so that is a big deal. There was a buyout bid for them. Universal Distribution is buying them. And I got to be honest, I don't understand a lot about bankruptcy and how things. I read the document they printed, and one of the things I thought was funny, in the document that they sent out to all the people who they worked with, they're like, you still need to pay us. Don't default on your payments to us just because we're going bankrupt. Because a lot of stores order from Alliance, right?
Right.
So I order 50 games. Like, we're going bankrupt. Free games. You still got to pay.
That's true.
Diamond, for a while, was almost a monopoly on their control of the comic industry. If you owned a comic store, you ordered from Diamond. And then Alliance was at once easily the biggest of the board game distributors, and they're still pretty high up there. Their GMT was the other one, probably.
Right.
So how that will affect all this, I do not know. I know that the distributors themselves have taken a big hit since 2020. And the pandemic, not just the pandemic, the shipping crisis, and just the fact that more and more publishers are just simply straight,
Circumventing, basically.
circumventing distributors.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this means for the future, but it has happened, or it's happening. So, all right. Origins Awards.
Exploded or something. Horrible things only are happening.
All righty. Well, no, they announced their new categories. So they've changed up their categories. So the 2025 categories are board games.
I like
in the
that
board
one.
game category.
That's a good one.
Here are the board game categories.
Go.
Gateway Game of the Year.
That's good.
We don't use that term.
I don't like the term, but fine.
Nope, we're over
Cooperative/solo Game of the Year.
I love
that.
that.
We don't use those terms.
Heavy strategy.
Nope.
Light strategy.
Yes.
Party game.
Okay.
Okay.
And constructible Game of the Year.
Excuse me?
Like magnetics and stuff.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Lego
games?
wins every year.
I'm pretty sure
guess
it's
they
going to go to
mean-
Monkey Palace.
That's it.
I guess they mean
Ringer.
CCG, but then why is it underneath board games? Whatever.
Constructible?
What?
Yeah.
Constructible does not imply perhaps what they think they imply. No, that means I would have to be...
You're constructing a deck.
keep
That's a
using that
stretch
word.
of what that word, how that word can be used. Constructible means I made the magic cards.
You know they don't want to. You know they don't want to use the word collectible. That's what it is.
Expandable? I don't know. Constructible sounds weird. It's an awful
All right.
Voltron sounding word.
In their miniatures, they have miniatures game of the year, paint hobby accessory of the year, miniature of the year. In role playing, they have role playing game of the year.
With the one
and
miniature of the
supplement
year?
Yeah, I think so. Well, like you buy.
I guess people do
A
buy
model.
sold
Yeah.
minis. Yeah.
Paint hobby thing. That's interesting. Like
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm interested to see innovation in that. Oh.
Then they have products of the year. They have product of the year, a randomized product of the year, and product of the year fixed. I'm actually not sure what that means. I'm assuming
See, that is collectible versus not collectible.
And then they have overall recognition of one game of the year. You can nominations can be made by publishers, retailers, and creators, and a jury of industry experts will select the nominees, and I assume they will announce them at Gamma, the Gamma trade show, which I'll be at this year.
It's interesting how focused they are, how, into their algorithm here. They take collectible and expandable games.
Yeah.
Well, they do get a lot of money from it, so why would you not? It's just every year.
I know,
a
but
Magic set release, and you're like, there's your nominee for that year.
yeah, right.
Right.
On a side note, did you hear that when the Magic set, the Secret Lair, Marvel was launched, their website crashed.
Wow.
From pre-orders.
Really?
Yeah. It's going to be their biggest set by a mile.
Yeah.
Or sets, because they're doing multiple. of them,
Right. Spider-Man.
Origins definitely will. If there was an award given for award that's changed the most times,
It would go to them.
it would go to Origins.
And they would give it to
Maybe
themselves.
I am glad that they dropped Best Review of the Year.
That was yeah.
That
That's
was
a
weird,
thing?
especially
It
since one of the
was.
nominees and first one was a review of Origins.
Did it win?
It did not, I don't think.
Because it was a negative review. It's like
Now, that's a good joke.
There's more a warning.
So we'll see. All right. Let's talk about some games. First, we have. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce this.
Time it. What?
It's time backwards and time forwards.
Oh, I hate that. Time.
Time.
Mit.
time.
Time. You got to say the second
Tiamat.
time backwards.
Tiamat. Time.
Anyway, one player takes the role of Nora. The other is taking the role of Aaron, which
Oh
is
my goodness! It's just like, is there gonna be a palindrome game?
That's all it's about.
Aaron was an AI created by Nora that now wants to jump to their shared spaceship from the starting point of 2100 to 2220.
You should have a race car.
Those dates should be
Yeah.
flipped too.
What's going on with
Same
that?
forward and backward.
In order to work with its future self to eliminate humanity,
I like that part.
Nora, as you might imagine, finds this idea distasteful and instead wants to travel back to 1980 to eliminate the possibility of humanity-hating AI from coming into existence, where she will enlist the help of John Connor. That's not true about that.
So this is pro AI propaganda?
No, it's anti. Well, one player is pro AI, the other person's pro humanity.
But it started in the 80s. That's when the guy was like, here's where we start.
Yeah.
I hope the game is good because that cover, I would never buy the game based on that cover.
Or the name?
Well, including the name as part of that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This seems weird. And then the pictures, the cards is like an E equals MC square shirt and a bottle of like condensed milk. What is happening?
Coming from Spanish publisher Zacatrus. Well, we're not getting much better. Atlas Game is releasing a game called Catstronauts, the board game.
Oh, buddy. Isn't this already out or something?
I know I've heard of this. This is it's a 6-book young adult novel series.
Young adult, not kids.
It's definitely for kids, right? Young adult.
This is like Harry Potter.
Particularly young adults?
From Harry Potter, you jump into Catstronauts.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Anyway, you're going to take the role of one of your favorite Catstronauts, such as Major Meowser, Waffles, Blanket, and Pom Pom.
Oh, I'm going to buy this for the young adult that I have to trade gifts with.
No, man, no.
Anyway, you win or lose the game as a team. It's a co-op game, 30 to 45 minutes.
It's cute, you know?
No, it's not.
It's okay, I have an 8-year-old girl.
Space cats and where to find them.
All right, let's jump to a very opposite end of the board here.
A good
Ares
game.
Games has announced the release of Mega Empires.
Oh!
So Mega Empires is already out. They're re-releasing it. There was 2 of them, Mega Empires the West, which was already, I think it was a 16-hour game or something.
What?
I'm not kidding.
Oh, you talking about campaign, like scenarios?
No, one play.
This is a 3 to 18 player game when you put them together. I know that.
You need both. If you want to play 18 people, you need both.
But I think they are putting them together, yeah, because the other ones were only...
It's the big box.
The other ones were only 5 to 9 and then 3 to 9. I know for sure at some of the Dice Tower conventions,
it's been played.
Some people played this. Jerry, the guy who owns Cool Stuff, he would every day be like, today is Mega Empires Day, and they would come in and play for 23 hours straight.
He's still playing today.
Really? Have you guys played this?
No.
You already knew the answer. What was the 23 hours?
I assumed.
The longest game I think I've ever played
was
like
38
hours,
minutes, I want to say.
Twilight Imperium game, yeah. I think. I don't think I've played a game longer than that.
I think the longest game I've ever played was StarCraft.
The board game?
Yeah. That's really long. It's many hours.
I definitely have played a 6-hour game of StarCraft. When I lived in Korea, Jeff Engelstein came to visit, and we had just got him. Like, this will be our first game of the day. Also, our only game of that day.
Joey doesn't know about that game.
No.
Be a real gamer for like
terrible?
10 minutes.
I don't know about a video game.
Anyway, here's the thing, though. People do like this a lot.
Apparently.
And it is a big convention thing, so for people who want this is exciting.
It'll be in the library.
Did someone just say this is my 10 by 10 challenge? Go for it. All right, Time Lancers. This is coming from Tampa-based publisher Waddling Panda.
Do you know them, Tampa Bay?
I know the place.
The people. Tampa Bay, you said?
I don't know everybody.
So I really dislike that cover. It looks like, you talk about a cover that looks like generically generated,
oh
right?
my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
It looks like AI or something, but like bad AI. 1980s AI.
Well, you're right. That looks like a VHS cassette.
It
does.
does.
Like, the Matrix just came out, and they're like, Time Lancers.
Yeah.
You know?
It looks like a knockoff of like Time Cop from, Van Damme or something.
Don't spoil my list.
The board itself doesn't look as bad there.
No, I like the board.
Everything else there. It's a 1 to 4 player game. This was crowdfunded in November of 23. Anyway, you're trying to change the future.
There's a lot of timey-wimey stuff today, huh?
Yep. Here's something new from Kids Table Board Games. It's Nana Toradori. And this is the thing that's new is I don't believe they've ever done a partnership with someone before.
Mm-hmm.
So this is with ArcLight Games. It's a big, I don't know if it's a big, it's a trick-taking game.
What?
I'm sorry. It's a card-shedding game. I'm confused. Trick-taking and card-shedding, I think, are very different. The only game I think that combines them is
Ladder
future.
climbing.
Ladder climbing, card shedding.
Yeah.
They're
They get lumped together a lot.
They
I
do,
don't know
but
why.
they're really like if you like trick taking, you may not like the other one, and vice
agree.
versa.
I
Although
agree.
there is a lot of crossover between people who like both of them. It's just confusing to me if you say trick taking and then you mean the other one. Anyway, I'm not sure. It just says it's a race to shed your hand of mixed up feathered friends through a series of climbing tricks. Sounds like ladder.
Yeah, it does.
As you play, craft your hand with new birds to create unbeatable combinations. Anyway, it's coming in Q2 of this year.
Okay, cool.
Renegade is bringing Naishi to the English-speaking markets. This is a game. It's a hand optimization and tableau building game set in feudal Japan. I'm not 100% sure
I like the look of this.
I like the look of it a lot.
who the original publisher is. Oh, Merlay Editions. And this is coming out in July, which means Gen Con.
That looks cool. I don't know what's happening there, but I like cards with powers and stuff. I'm in.
And holders.
All right, let's talk about some stuff from All Play. First, we have Merchants of Andromeda. This is a reprint of Reiner Knizia's Merchants of Amsterdam.
Yeah. And from what I understand, it is heavily modified. And to that I say, thank you. That game sucked.
Yes, it was extensively developed by Bebop designer Robert Havakamanyan. Anyway, it's a 3 to 5 player game. You're casting votes, bidding on lucrative space goods. I like that cover a lot.
Cover's cool.
Yeah.
That is like almost like a science fiction magazine cover from the 80s or 70s.
Yes,
yeah.
I love that retro sci-fi
I love
stuff.
that. Yep. I do too. Pulp type
Pulp,
sci-fi.
yes.
Yeah.
La Poule.
Also from All Play, Alibis is a 2 to 6 player cooperative game. It's a new version of Nigoichi from Yusuke Sato, and the original publisher was Jelly Jelly.
Okay, this is a remake of which one now?
Nigoichi.
Interesting. I wonder if Mike, I'm sure, knows this game, but, you know.
You're revealing clues and trying to get people to figure out words. It sounds interesting.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I like it. They're picking some really funky stuff. I love the stuff that they're making accessible.
Well, they have a new one, and this is not a reprint coming from them, and that's Twinkle Twinkle. This is from Ammon Anderson, who's best known for Gnome Hollow.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
So there's a tile-laying game where you're going to fill your star chart with clear plastic tiles, trying to connect constellations, build belts of asteroids, collect comets, pick up planets, and study them with satellites.
Sounds cute.
Also, it says it's going to come with a handy scoring app that lets you point your phone at the board and watch it magically tally up your points.
Let's
Ooh.
go.
Finally.
2025 is the future, baby.
Yes, we're there.
Point your phone at stuff.
Shots fired.
All right. They're also releasing Waddle. This is a reprint, again, of Corne Van Morsel's game from Quali called Gypsy King. Was the original one. And now it's just called Waddle.
Nice. And it looks to be in that size, I like a little square size, I bet, because it has that font.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
But then they have their tiny card game line.
The
They
really
have
small
some very
ones, yeah.
popular ones this year.
Tiny
Rainbow,
Waddle.
and what's the one you like, Chris? The
Fairy.
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 Rainbow and Fairy. Well, now they got Slambo.
Look at that.
Oh, I'm in.
I was
That's
I was
comfortable.
telling Mike the art there by Sawi Beppo. She managed to make those sumo wrestlers look even more fat. Like just a few lines that I could see the rolls jiggling there.
Yeah.
Oh, they're very large gentlemen.
Yeah, they're not even fighting there. They're just like congratulating on a good match.
I like the collision lines on the outside. It looks like they just slap together, and then you got the lines coming out of them. I like that.
That's
Slambo.
And For the Emperor, the first one's 2 to 4 player Slambo. For the Emperor is 2 player only, where you're trying to control things. This is from Whitney Lorraine. Also, same artist, by the way, which I think is pretty impressive. That both those covers is the same artist.
that's some.
That's
And
wild, yeah.
They're very clearly not
They don't look the same
different
at all.
styles.
Different
I like
styles,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have one style.
Yeah, the first one you're like, okay, what else can you do? If they the second one, if they gave the first one, you're like, okay, that seems like that's all you can do. That's like those styles are man.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But can you draw thin people? And she's like, bam.
with armor.
All right. Hook
Ooh.
has announced some new releases for 2025. Rising Cultures. This is an interesting-looking two-player game which has asymmetrical factions built from multi-use cards. You have 4 different civilizations, each with its own unique deck. Sounds a little bit like Monumental Duel almost. But with these cards, you're going to use them for resources, for military, build buildings, or play unique leaders.
I'm liking it.
I agree. It sounds good.
I'm all about it.
Then Kilia.
Oh.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Kilia? Maybe.
Kelia, yeah.
It's a 2 to 4 player game from first-time designer Lars Erzman. Oh, it's based on Kiel, Kiel, Germany. It's a port city, and you're building a canal, I believe.
Le Havre. Just call it the harbor next time.
Hold that thought.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. The Royal Society of Architects. Here, this is a 1 to 4 player game. This is from Atlia, publisher, and
Italia, right? Italia, I think.
Italia, yes, maybe.
It's an Italian publisher, I think.
You're trying to get better and better at being archaeologists. This is a theme, actually, that's not used as much. It was pretty big for a while in the early aughts.
It did. It had its moment, didn't it? Late 90s, early 2000s. Like, it felt like every other game was about discovering an ancient civilization that had been forgotten kind of thing. Archaeological pursuits. That was everything. That was all the big games. But you're right. This is not very often now put in a game. I did have a good laugh at somebody in the comments for this announcement over on BGG. It was like, there never was a Royal Society of Archaeologists, a made-up thing. This other one existed, and this other one, but this one is gobbledygook. You know, it's like they were like just upset that this was made up, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, but also...
I saw that same comment. I
made
was
up.
like, I also am outraged.
I get what you're saying, but maybe it's not based on history.
You're right.
Maybe it's just a game.
All right. Simsala Spin. This is a cooperative memory game.
Pass
Oh.
and pass.
But one of the designers, Knizia.
Oh.
I'm back in, baby.
And Martino, I cannot pronounce that last name. Chiacchiera.
I can't even see it.
Anyway, these are the same 2 designers who worked on Witchstone in the past. So now you're going to work with cauldrons, but you need the right ingredients. But you have to uncover them in lines. It's a cooperative memory game. I really got to say I'm not excited about this.
Mike is going to have a dilemma with this.
He does have a dilemma.
He doesn't like
Knizia,
memory.
Positive.
Really? Even over memory? Okay.
We did the top 100 games, and he was struggling to put stuff on the bottom. All right.
Those kids' eyes don't look right. They look like they've been sniffing that cauldron too much.
Having that tea.
Quayside is the next game from R&D Games with Hook. This is from Richard Breese, but also David Turtzi. So if you thought Richard Breese's games weren't complicated enough, have no fear.
I'm telling you, I swear, you show me that box and I'm like, yeah, it's one of the key games. It's been out.
I agree. This looks like it already exists.
Come on, man. I like that you have key whatever things and the title is always in the same font and what have you. But they also all look the same.
Well, except for, so I like, at first it was like Cathedral. I'm like, all right. Well, there was Key Town first, right?
Yeah.
Then Cathedral. And then Key Flower. Okay, those are 3 different things. I can remember the difference between those. And then all the rest sound like Keyflower.
Quayside is all, it's just not very inspired.
No.
What if we wants to do one about, connect a bunch of islands, like Keys?
Ooh.
What would he name that? Keys.
That's a
I might
delivery
play that
service
one, actually.
for witches. All right. Ink. Do you like that colorful
Ooh.
cover? This is from Casper Lapp. This is a 1 to 4 player game, and this game is coming from Final Score. What's Final Score, you might wonder?
What
This
is
is
that?
the 3rd company from Sophia. I'm sorry, not Sophia. Sophie Gravel. Her first company, which was Philosophia, and then she bought Z-Man Games, then sold that to Asmodee. She then started a new company called Plan B. Plan B got big, made mega hits like Azul. She sold that to Asmodee. She's now starting a 3rd company. I think this is it, because it's called Final Score.
It'd be cheaper for Asmodee just to hire her.
You think so?
let's just jump to the end.
Final score, and then after this one, Psych. Just kidding. The publisher.
No, it's like Rebirth, Phoenix Rebirth.
Oh, Phoenix Publishing. Yes.
I will say this: with her on the project, though,
Oh,
I'm
you
automatically interested.
You better be careful. It's gonna be a mega hit.
She knows how to find good games.
Yeah.
I mean, she was involved with many of these different companies, with bringing on Plaid Hat, finding Emerson, and making him a household name essentially.
Yeah.
And then Kiesling, like she went to him and she was like, "What if you didn't use Cromer?" And he was like, "I don't know. Can I do that?" Yes, he can.
I know. That's amazing.
Is that an option?
Anyway, I hope this game is good. It's a 1 to 4 player game. You are deploying your talent by creating sumptuous paintings. And that's pretty much all I know. But that will be present at the Cannes Festival in February 2025. You can demo it there. I don't know when it's coming out.
Interesting.
All right. Trismegistus is getting a second edition. New player boards redesigned for alchemic precision. Trismegistus is one of the heaviest of the quote-unquote T games from Board and Dice. One of the problems it has is it was difficult to parse the game. I like it a lot, but it's difficult to parse it because there was just so much information and it wasn't particularly, the UI wasn't great.
Okay.
So they're saying they're redesigning that part of it. I think they're redesigning the game somewhat too.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. But second edition, I know this one did not do as well as the other 3 or 4 that came out at this time. All right, I got this email very proudly from the Catan Studios where they're like, "Do not spoil this information." And so I did not until now. But there's a 6th edition of Catan coming. Completely different, as you can see from that picture.
What game is that?
So I looked at this picture for a long time and looked at the different assets they sent me, and I'm trying to figure out what's different. I mean, I guess the artwork's different, right? Although if you ask me which edition any artwork was from, I would not know. I know first edition because that's iconic.
Okay.
I think the pieces are plastic now or rewood or something like that. And they basically are like, "It's different, but also don't worry, we didn't change anything" type situation.
Okay.
It's the 30th anniversary, I believe. And they're re-releasing everything. Seafarers, Cities of Knights, Treasures, Barbarians, Explorers, Pirates, and the 5 to 6 expansions for all those.
Wow. So they're rebooting it.
I guess, but it doesn't... Like, if you ask me, is this a new edition, yes or no question, I'd be like, no, that's the one that exists now. It isn't, but I wouldn't be able to tell you that.
Just better components, so they're saying? Like,
they changed the artwork. I think it was their big thing was like, oh, no, I know what it was. They said one of the big things is, well, it's more user-friendly, it's easier to teach and learn now.
Have you had a problem teaching Catan?
No, but my point being, they're now reaching for like the 10-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Okay,
at this point.
Yeah.
Do you find it interesting how small Klaus Teuber's name is on that cover now?
That is kind of weird. His name is even smaller than the game on there. It is above everything else. But
why is the game even on the box? Is this as opposed to Catan?
The film.
Well, they are making a movie of it, aren't they?
100%.
Are they really? They've been talking about it.
Spielberg is on it like white on rice.
The Rock. It's going to be great.
I'm watching a Tarantino Catan. All right.
Can you imagine?
But there's more stuff coming from
Zack
this.
Snyder.
This is the thing I'm most interested in. Cosmos is bringing out an exit game set in the world of Catan, Adventures on Catan, which incidentally has a better cover than Catan. That's a great little cover.
That's a good cover.
It's the same image, right? But they're just kind of cropping it in a
Yeah,
little.
but I like that cropping. Anyway, this is coming out, blah, blah, blah. This is a new exit game. It's coming out in June.
That's cool, man.
I like this. This makes me think.
Let's do it. Let's go to Catan.
I could read stories about that whole world thing. That's interesting.
We're not done with Cosmos yet, though. Cosmos is also coming out with a family edition of The Crew Family Adventure. Which when I first saw this box, my eyes rolled over and I thought it was another Survive. It really has the look of Survive.
It does.
They really should have got the Robinson Crusoe theme for this, though. That's like public domain, right?
The Crew.
Yeah.
So.
The Crusoe Family Adventure, you're right.
Yeah, this one is from what I understand, and they're simplifying it partly by making it not a trick-taking game. That's the crazy thing. This is actually like Crazy Eights, where you just play number on number or color on color. So Uno. This is co-op Uno to a certain degree. That's how they're simplifying
But that might just work.
Oh, that might be amazing, and that might outsell the other ones. But my point being, it's interesting that for the family one, they're like, you know what's too complicated for the family is trick-taking. And I don't necessarily disagree with that idea.
Trick-taking is a fairly complicated thing. A lot of people don't think so because they grew up in families where everyone played it all the time.
I agree.
So
Now, Thomas Singh, he hated it as a kid.
More exit stuff. Exit the game family. There's 2 escape adventures in here. This is kind of a weird little thing because you are that group of animals there in the middle going to the Cape Rat Candy Castle and the mystery of Meanstone Manor. But one of those pictures, the Meanstone Manor, doesn't match those animals. Like, they're all going to go that one, and then they're going to die.
Why are they like, there's that dog with an eye patch, and
he's been through some stuff.
Are they like
went to the
ninjas?
Meanstone Manor.
That's right. That's afterwards. That's in between.
Anyway, this feels a little new. This says it's for 8 and up. They already have an escape. I mean, they have Exit Kids and then Exit.
Yes.
So this is like, I guess, in between, and there's 2 of them.
Wait, do they have Exit Kids or do they have Unlock Kids?
No, they have Exit Kids, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if it says each one takes an hour to complete. I wonder if they're disposable or not.
Well, it'd be great if they were.
You mean like those heroes? Come on now, that's not. There's not going to be a TV series based on those guys.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way.
You think they're going to die at the end of this?
Also,
I
there
would
is
love for that to happen.
Exit the Game. The Venice Conspiracy is coming out. And another Exit Kids game is coming out, Midnight Spooktacular. See, there you go. That's what the kids one looks like.
He also did it.
And they showed off the new calendar, the Exit the Game Advent Calendar, the Intergalactic Race.
I didn't do mine from last year.
You did it?
No,
You're a
I bought
sucker.
it, and I'm like, should I just do it now, like all of a sudden in a row? I just kept forgetting. Should I say for next year?
You should do it with someone else so that they will help you. Like my kids, I do it with my kids, and they're like, let's do it.
Okay, so they'll remind you?
Yeah.
I really like this one. I like that cover a lot. And I like the idea of it being some weird sci-fi thing. You know what I mean?
Well,
the themes on these are...
Is that a rabbit?
That's a rabbit. Yeah, it's an intergalactic Santa Claus is a hare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you never heard of that?
No.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Our final piece of news, which made no splash whatsoever on the internet, is the announcement of FinSpan.
What is
from
that?
Stonemaier Games.
Another Wings? I didn't. Wow. It's incredible.
We'll be playing this one live tomorrow, and then we'll be reviewing it later this week too. FinSpan is the 3rd in a trilogy, so he said he made 3 games in a trilogy. Wingspan was the first, and then the more gamery game being Wormspan, and then this is the more accessible one. And having played it, it's definitely going to be one of the easiest ones to teach, I think. FinSpan.
Easier than Wingspan.
Yes. And I'll tell you why, because in just a real quick thing, in Wingspan, on the very first turn of the game, you get some cards, and you discard a certain number of cards to get food, right? And you keep other cards. You don't have to do that in FinSpan. You just get some cards, and those cards are also your resources to some degree. It just that's just one decision at the beginning of the game, but it's a big deal.
And that's the only thing that's different. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. Ooh, I'm starting things.
Cue 1 billion jokes about the name, and then 1 billion people coming in and yelling about the people who made the jokes, and then people yelling at those people saying, let people have fun.
BT Dubs, if you want to fly under the radar, rate the game a 2. No one can come after you if you rate it a 2.
Anyway, it's going to do very, very well.
Yeah.
So, and it's fish. In fact, one of the people in our game group, Alex Marks, was a consultant on this.
He is the fish guy, we call him.
Yeah.
Do we
He
call
loves
him that?
fish.
We're going to start calling him that now.
Not to his face, but yeah, we call him that.
You do that little fish mouth.
Who's coming today? Oh, is Alex coming? That's what we do.
Wow.
All
Okay.
right, folks. That is the news. Really?
I am. I nailed it.
That's
that
the
time.
worst you've ever done.
I really. They were
Joey
there
got one.
though.
Joey got one.
I knew them.
I got all 5.
All right, today we're talking about our 3 most anticipated upcoming movies coming out this year. Of course, as with any anticipated list, we don't know although we have more knowledge of movies than we do of board games.
Oh, for sure. It's a
Yes.
much bigger industry, right? So, yes.
And this was really. I could tell you. I could do a top 3 board games looking forward to and narrow it down pretty easy. This one I was like, this is hard.
Did you have a long list of
I
movies you were
do,
looking forward
and
to?
I got now.
He's
I
trying to
did.
figure out. He's trying to figure out a way to squeeze in the rest. Do not.
I
give him
really
this
okay, but
opening.
here's the thing: I did not do things released on streaming services.
You didn't.
Okay.
Did
Yay
you
for
guys? Did you guys?
What does it matter?
'Cause I want to know.
I considered one, but I did not.
Okay, so you're all
I
theatrical.
definitely considered the one we talked about yesterday.
I did too, but
Is
since
it
we talked about it
is
yesterday,
the
I did
Electric
not.
State?
No, it's Happy Gilbert 2.
It was on my short list, but that's what I found out last night.
The only one I considered that was a Netflix movie is the Electric State, or whatever it's called.
What's that?
It's about mechs. It's like set in the 1990s.
That looks amazing.
It's from the Russo brothers, man.
Oh, then I'm in.
I actually would have put that in my list. I remembered it, and I did not.
It would be like my 4 maybe, but I'm still not sure. Now knowing that it's set in the 90s makes a little more sense watching the trailer though.
Russo brothers, I'm in. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
But knowing Happy Gilmore 2, that's number 4 now, right?
Yes, right.
Got it. All right.
You don't like Happy Gilmore, the first one?
I'm certainly not looking forward to a sequel. You know, it's fine.
Well, because no
Is that
Bob
the
Barker.
golf one?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
they also
fine.
brought back everyone who's still alive.
Yeah, because they're all unemployed.
Julie Bowen, Shooter McGavin.
All those people are unemployed.
No, they're just signing autographs from their wonderful movie. This is like the movie of my lifetime.
All right, you better just go to your number 3.
All right.
I suddenly no longer care about your top 3.
Well, you're not going to care about this one then. This one, number 3, this is the one that I'm cautiously optimistic about. And this is a movie I grew up with. I loved it. I loved all the sequels from this. Loved the TV show it came from. But they're remaking it, and they're replacing the main star with Liam Neeson.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh,
That
yes.
is The Naked Gun. Yes, Liam Neeson, and then Pamela Anderson, I think is his wife or whatever. And I'm telling you, I've seen him do some comedy skits, and when he plays that one character, he does really well.
I have not seen him be in a funny thing where he's funny.
No, that's the
in
thing,
Ted.
though.
Did you
That's
see him
the
in
thing.
Ted? When
I have not seen Ted.
Okay, he goes in and tries to buy some sort of like, what's that trickster for kids from Ted? And he's like, I am not a child. Will you follow me from here? And Ted's like, no. He's like, are you sure? It's like, it's the way he does it. It's
That's
so
the thing.
good.
I don't think he's necessarily funny, but he can play this same character
Yes.
where he's straight and everything around him's funny. I think he can do that.
And that would be okay. You think that'd be funny?
Oh,
Okay.
I really like that. That's one of my favorite
I
things
agree.
that people do is that play the straight character and everything. And they're stupid, but they don't know it.
I guess that's
And
what it is.
Inspector Clouseau.
Can he play dumb?
That's what I wonder, because before
Because
this.
it's not even funny. You're right. Because he, what's his name, didn't really play it funny. He played it straight.
Straight.
But he was dumb.
He was so.
he needs to be stupid. You know what I
Leslie
mean?
Nielsen, before these movies and Airplane, all that, he was like a serious role person, like Forbidden
Right.
Planet, all that, and this just changed his entire career. You know,
But he's kind of doing the same stuff, but he needs to kind of play it in a really like goofy way
Yeah.
a little bit. I don't know if Liam Neeson can do that. I'm
the least hopeful.
cautiously optimistic about
I am
this.
too. I am. I'm the least hopeful of this one of my 3,
Okay.
but looking forward to it.
All right. Is it me?
Yeah.
All right, my number 3 is, and by the way, I told Tom before this started, I'm like, did you go full on nerd? And he was like 100%. I'm like, all right. So it's going to be all comic book stuff, pretty much.
No, not quite.
It's all going to be comic book stuff. My number 3 is a comic book movie. It's called Superman. It's about this guy from another planet
Don't spoil it.
who comes to Earth,
Spoilers.
and because Earth is different from his home planet, he has like superpowers here. He's like a super version of one of us, a super like man.
All right, that's
and
it. I'm never gonna let you explain comics to anyone ever again.
And he has a dog
Okay, there it is.
who's also a super dog. I'm guessing it came from the same planet. Anyway, it looks good.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
My number-
Also, is this based on a specific comic book?
No, it looks like it's based on
All
a
of
lot
them.
comic books.
I know, but like, is there one line? Because I know they have like various characters. It seemed, if you've seen the trailer, there's like they really went full hog on this one. They're like, oh, you want more than one bad guy? Here's 28. It seems like every bad guy ever is in there.
I can't tell what it's from.
This reminds me of, did you see that newscaster who said, she says, I want to end with my favorite Marvel superhero. With great power comes great responsibility, Superman. And then it's like that. She ends with that. And she like got blasted on the internet. And it's the funniest thing. First of all, she got so much wrong in that last thing.
I love that.
I just think every time I see that.
All right.
My number 3 is not a superhero movie.
What?
It is, and it's doing something I usually don't like, which is set in the world of movies.
Okay.
And I'm usually opposed to those because
La La Land 2.
No, this is Ballerina. This is John Wick 5, basically.
Okay, this I did not put on my list because I thought it was a series. Is it a movie?
Is it a series?
I don't know. Either way, I'm really excited about this.
Oh man, I don't know now. Now you got me all thinking.
Live long and prosper, Gandalf. Ballerina is a TV show for sure, based on John Wick's.
Is it a TV show?
I don't know.
You just.
Maybe it's a trailer. Maybe it's a movie.
It's a movie. Okay, stop.
Then I'm excited about it now.
Again, I have not finished John Wick. The last John Wick I never saw. Don't spoil it for me.
This doesn't spoil it because this is a little bit farther back in time.
Okay, good.
And so I don't know. They show him in the trailer. I don't know how much of his role is. She's like the main character. Yeah. But I just like John Wick.
Is she also
yes.
Killer for hire?
Yeah, she goes to that school that Angela Huston ran in
the Red Room.
The Red Room, yeah. So, no, I wait. It got me.
Yeah! Nerd!
It's essentially the same thing, though.
Of course it is.
I don't know. It looks really interesting, and so I'm excited about it.
Just more John Wick is like...
Yeah.
Every time I see an image like that, though, I just think of that bad Suicide Squad movie where the Joker took the time to arrange all those knives and all those weapons just so he could laugh. You know what I'm talking about? Every time I see an image like that, this is for artistic purposes, I get it. But in that movie, in the Suicide Squad movie, it's in the movie. He was there arranging those things just so the guy could walk in and he'd be like, yeah, let's go rescue Harley Quinn. You know what I mean? It's like, you're so bored. You did all that. Clean this up before we go.
Leave him out. All right.
That was your problem with the movie?
That was my main problem. I had other
John Cena you were
issues.
fine with. All right.
John Cena's not in that one. It's a different movie.
Oh, he's in the series, though.
I'm talking about the first Suicide Squad.
No one
it's just
watched
called
that.
Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad. Duh. Gosh, you're so embarrassing, Dad.
Okay. All right, the next one is a surprise for me. It is from the producer, I think Bong Joon-ho. He did Parasite and The Host. Anyway, it's a dark comedy style with Robert Pattinson, and it is Mickey 17. And if you haven't seen the trailer for this, it looks great. This guy is the one guy that signs up for really dangerous jobs they need someone to do, but you will die doing it probably. This guy signs up to be this person that can't die, but he dies, but he gets brought back continually. So he'll go to deep caverns and all this stuff, and they'll be like, hey, sorry, man, this is the time. And he'll just go, all right, it's fine. I've died before. And then he'll die and come right back. And then he goes to space. He goes, it looks really good.
Why does he come back?
I don't know. They haven't gone the tech in the trailer. I don't know. Mark Ruffalo's in it. Robert Pattinson. It looks really good. And this director, I think he's South Korean or something. He just has this really good knack of using these sudden moments in movies. And this one I'm really excited about.
I'll tell you this, man. Robert Pattinson is killing it.
He's got a wide array of things he can play.
He's definitely left
the Harry Potter and Sparkly
Twilight.
Vampire thing. Yeah, he shook that full off.
Yeah, I would not watch the Batman until people were like, it's good. All right, I'll give him a chance. And that was my moment where it's like, okay.
Well, there's another movie he's coming out because I was looking through movies upcoming, and I thought you were going to mention that. I forget what it was called, but he was the main actor in it. It's not this, and that looked good.
Well, he's also in that Nolan movie, the one where the time goes backwards.
Tenet, yeah.
Tenet.
He's in that.
Really
He's really good in that. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen Tenet.
He's really good.
You won't understand
And then
it.
Mike DeLeese was about to mention the Lighthouse. Just give him a minute.
Oh, he's a clone with memory updates, I guess.
That
is
was
what
Chris,
happens.
actually.
What Sean says.
Oh, he did mention it? I figured it would be Mike, because Mike always mentions it.
Watch the trailer on this, by the way. It looks really good. And not a horror, so you guys would like it.
All right. What's your number 2, Z?
My number 2 is a little bit in the same vein as that ballerina movie that I had not heard of. This is a movie called Love Hurts.
Love her.
And it is kind of a John Wick / Nobody. It's one of those movies. They keep remaking that movie.
I love Nobody. Such a great movie.
yeah.
So it's basically a guy who is just like a real estate agent or whatever, and his old life catches up to him. And you find out that he was, of course, like a, super amazing contract killer or something.
I love those.
I love that. And especially when
Beekeeper.
they find like a meek actor
Yeah.
and you get to see them do the thing they do and then put a spin on that and you're like, they can kick butt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they put amazing combat scenes in there, fighting scenes in there. The trailer for this looks really neat. I like this actor a lot. Talk about making a comeback, He's doing amazing things. But this gives me that feel of tongue-in-cheek, funny stuff. I think the funny parts are going to be great in this. And then the spin on that, it almost looks like Jackie Chan fight scenes.
Really?
Did you see the trailer for this?
No,
He really does
choreographed?
remind me a lot of Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
in
he
many
kind of
ways.
looks like him a little bit in this movie, and the fighting has a little bit of that humor in it, it looks like.
Huh.
So, yeah, this is...
As dumb as this cliche is, it's one of my favorite movies types.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will
All the
watch
way
them.
back
They
in the
make them-
day,
they've been making
Gina
them a
Davis
lot.
was when she was I just love that. They're like, you're actually really good at this. And they're like, cool.
Oh, the Gina Davis you said? The Long Kiss Goodnight. That's
Yes,
like one
yep.
of the original,
She's in the kitchen,
housewife.
chopping
Yeah.
vegetables up. Throw
Yeah,
them
'cause she has
out.
like no memory, right? She forgot her memory, and
Yeah.
things just kind of come back to her in flashes. So
The
she's
Jason
like,
Bourne style
She's
stuff,
like,
yeah.
she's cutting vegetables, and the husband's like, "Oh, what is this?" She's like, "Oh, I must have been a chef. Maybe I was a chef in another life." And then she tosses up a vegetable and like pins it on the wall with a knife.
Because
She's
that's
like,
what chefs do.
then they're all like, "Okay," That movie's amazing.
I like
Yeah.
that movie a lot.
Yeah. Beekeeper is good too in this same.
Beekeeper
genre.
is probably the best movie with Gina
Okay,
Davis in.
no one's ever said.
No, my favorite movie in this genre is, I think, Nobody. I really like
I haven't seen Nobody. Who's in that?
The comedian guy who plays Saul Goodman in Better Call Saul.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's the same thing. He's just a schlubby guy in his house, and you're like, oh, his life sucks. And then one day, he's like,
He
I'm
gets-
actually an assassin.
He's pushed too far,
All right. He starts falling down. Right.
Oh, my number 2.
Yeah.
My number 2 is a crossover with Z. It's Superman. And this is odd for me because I'm a big Marvel guy, but I think I'm more excited about this than most of the Marvel movies that are coming out because that trailer was that good. The trailer, if you talk about a trailer that changed people's minds, whoever put that trailer together, congrats. The only thing about, because at the beginning of that trailer, I was like, I don't care about this stupid dog. And then they showed everything else. Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner's in it, and I love Guy Gardner.
Who is Guy Gardner?
He's a cranky,
Castle.
jerky. Nathan Fillion's playing him.
Yeah.
He's a
I
cranky,
figured that
jerky
out,
guy
but-
who got a ring, a Green Lantern ring, and I think they even took it away from him for a while because he was a jerk. And then he got it back, so he's a jerk, but he helps because Heart of Gold, But
So he is a Green Lantern?
Yeah.
sometimes he had a yellow ring for a while. I don't know, but
That's the Ring of Fear.
but he's definitely
Look at
was.
you.
He definitely. They don't even call him Green Lantern. It's like that's Guy Gardner. So I don't
Who's
know,
the guy with the T on his face?
Mister. I don't know that one actually. I don't know a lot about the DC universe.
Mr. Terrifics, that's Chris.
My only concern about this movie is I'm like, how are they going to get all that stuff into one movie?
There's a lot of stuff.
They
If you watch a
definitely-
trailer, it looks like a trailer for a series.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
All right. So my number 1.
Also Superman.
Probably no surprise. It is a triple crossover. It is Superman. Here's the thing. Here's why I am most excited about this. For too long.
Explain where he came from.
For too long, DC has been like, hey, Batman's dark and gritty, so let's make Superman dark and gritty. Let's make Wonder Man dark and gritty. Let's make Flash dark and gritty.
Wonder Man? He said Wonder Man.
Wonder Woman. Everything is
Wow.
like, everything fits into that Batman bubble. And it's like this, when you watch this is what Superman needs to be. This is true to the comics. I wasn't crazy about Cosmo, the dog, showing up, but he is Crypto, whoever it is.
Cosmo.
Whoever. I skip the dog comics every time. When I open up and the dog is there,
I
I'm
agree.
like,
If there's a dog comic, I'm like,
I'd
done.
move on because I'm like, nope. But he does stick to the comics. Everything is bright. I mean, Superman's protecting people. It's like everything doesn't take place in Gotham.
That
you
scene
know?
where he comes in and is protecting that girl
Yes.
from the explosion.
That was the
That's
scene
great.
for me in the trailer. Is like, okay, it's going back to what Superman is all about. So I think now, again, I don't know. They've tried to reboot this a million times. Now, I am going back and watching all of the old Superman. I just watched Man of Steel last week.
This trailer, the trailer is better than the last 4 Superman movies.
I agree.
Oh, no. Come
Well,
on.
you don't. You're
Man
not
of
crazy
Steel
about
is good.
I like
Which
Man
one's
of
Man of
Steel.
Steel?
The first one.
Yeah.
No, I don't like it.
Really? Yeah, you don't like Cavill, though, as Superman.
The cavalry.
I don't love him. I don't dislike him.
That
I
was
don't
a
love
good
him.
part.
I was telling you, I don't like Jonathan Kent.
Oh, no.
He's like, keep your abilities a secret.
Who's
mean-
Jonathan Kent?
Oh, in Man of
it
Steel,
was,
it's Kevin
Oh,
Costner.
his
Kevin
dad
Costner.
tells him to like keep it. Yeah,
Even at the cost of my life, because that's what Superman would do. That's so stupid.
fair. But then maybe he was stupid.
Wow.
No, it's okay. Some people have a dumb dad.
All right, what's your number one?
Is it me?
Yeah.
That was your number one?
It's my number 1 and 0.5.
Okay. My number one is The Thunderbolts. I have not been this excited for a Marvel movie in a long time.
That's a crossover with Tom.
Okay, it's been a while. There's been a lot of just bum, garbage, slow movie of the week Marvel movies for a while. This to me might be awful, but it feels like a return to form finally. I'm like, here we go. Yes, bring out some of these characters. You keep building a backlog and not using them. All these
I
characters
agree.
are gathering dust. These people are all just getting older. Here we go. Suicide Squad kind of looking thing with all these Marvel characters you're not using. It looks funny. It looks action-packed. Let's go. I'm excited.
I'm
for this.
excited about it. I'm a little concerned that they're showing so much. I stopped watching trailers for it because each trailer is showing more and more new material. And I kind of wanted to be surprised.
Where's
Yeah.
your confidence level on these?
7 on this
Okay.
one.
Are you about the same?
Like an 8.
Okay, so you're all right.
Also, 3 of these people are from the same movie.
Which ones?
The White Widow, her dad, and then the guy
Is she in it?
people.
I have not seen the
Oh,
trailer
yeah,
because
that's
I've
right.
kind of been out from Marvel for a while.
Yes, that's 3. Like, I don't know. I hope it's good. It's also very much an underpowered movie, which isn't bad necessarily, but there's very few, almost no one there has superpowers.
Well, except if, again, my only worry here, the reason it's an 8 instead of a 10 is because if that one guy, Bob, it does turn out to be the Sentry, then unfortunately it goes from like really, really underpowered to like, oh gosh, okay. You like blew a gasket on this guy.
yeah,
Right,
maybe.
okay.
You know what I mean? And then it becomes like a Suicide Squad versus the Witch. And it's like, no, you don't send them to go fight the Witch. You get Superman.
Right.
These guys are like, she has a bat, for goodness sake. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm worried about that power imbalance there. We'll see. That's why I'm at an 8.
Actually, my number one is a Marvel movie, but it is not this one.
Oh,
my number one is the
okay.
one we know almost nothing about.
Wait.
Fantastic Four.
Really?
Fantastic Four? Yes. I've been waiting for an MCU Fantastic Four for a long time.
Okay,
just like
that's-
X-Men.
That is not from this movie, right? That poster?
I think so.
It might be fake. Who knows, you know?
That's
Well,
What's
the
it called?
trailer
It's
has
called
it-
Fantastic Four New Days or
Is that what
Happy
it is?
Days or what's it called? Something like that.
Look, I'm pumped. I think the cast is good, and that's all I have to go on.
cast is good.
I wouldn't be upset if it wasn't a origin story. You know, how they're going to shoehorn them in, who knows? Probably multiverse somehow.
Sure.
But I've always liked the Fantastic Four.
I agree.
I thought the first movie was just good. The second movie was horrific. I never watched the third one, the reboot, but
That's
that guy,
very bad.
everyone
watch
said
that
that was
one,
bad.
no.
So I mean, again, I have a lot of high hopes for this one. There's 3 Marvel movies coming out. This, Thunderbolts, and Captain America. I'm going to go see all of them. And
I am.
Superman. That's 4 movies this year you can get me to go to.
I
It's
know.
called First Steps. That's
And
what it
Mickey
is.
17.
And they just showed the trailer for the new Daredevil TV series.
Looks good.
That looks amazing.
So,
Did you see that?
I finally did. I didn't know it was out.
Yeah, because everybody was like, "Oh no, it's Disney Plus. Are they gonna soften it up from what it was on Netflix?" Nope.
No. Looks good.
well,
They did not back down.
Hopefully they tighten it up, though.
Like make them shorter. There's
Yeah.
a lot of talky and
Although
not
the
enough
Marvel
bone
TV
breaking.
series don't do a lot of good. Not that much that, but
Except for Echo.
they like try to drag these things out. And the Marvel TV series have a flaw in where when it's over, you're like, all that cool stuff you did in that last
Doesn't tie
episode.
in.
Why didn't you do 2 or 3 of those?
I
Why
agree
didn't you
with
make the
that.
last episode 2 or 3 episodes?
Right.
It's that good.
And they always have one like dud episode that I'm like, you know that one that you put in there that didn't need to be in there? Spread out the last one. They
Yeah.
always do that. When you're like, okay, there's one episode left. How are they going to do it? Yeah, and they kind of do it, but they rush through it.
Which is what, James Gunn at DC is doing 2 different universes, TV and movies. So, interesting.
Oh,
Is
interesting.
that what he said?
He has a whole timeline and he jumps around. If you watch the videos, like 20 minutes, he shows, because he's got animated TV and movies, and somehow they're not really all going to intertwine. It's interesting. So
I don't know.
So weird.
Just
All
because
right.
you can make a movie doesn't mean you can run a universe.
I agree.
So,
That's what Spider-Man said.
with great power comes lots of movies. All right.
Green Lantern.
Alrighty, let's move on. Attached to the thing.
You're not attached
Alrighty.
to the thing, yeah.
I'm not. My computer's not attached. All right, folks, we're going to end this episode very soon, but we just wanted to put one more plea out there. If you like what we do on the Dice Tower, consider backing us. We're on Gamefound this year, not Kickstarter, Gamefound. But if you just go to supportdicetower.com, it will take you there. It will go live at noon Eastern Standard Time today.
Today.
Yep.
There are some pretty neat promos there. There's some. We have a new theme of cryptids and Cthulhu. We have some of our typical stuff like our meeples and playmats and puzzles and all that stuff. But the main thing you're doing is you're backing us. This is not, nobody here at the Dice Tower treats this as something that we do on the side. This is our full-time thing. We come in every day and we work really hard to put out content. And if you think that's worth it, then we're asking that you back it. So if nothing else, just to back us. So I ask people to look at it as kind of a Netflix subscription. If you watch us as much as you watch Netflix, then consider paying the same amount you would pay the Netflix. But you don't have to. Our stuff's free. You can still go out there and watch it. But if you don't do that, then go tell someone about it. Tell other people to back us then. So Chris, is this on? Is this live? Are we showing this? Yes. Yeah, so you can see it's coming in 2 hours and 13 seconds. Woo! And there's stuff being added to it even as we speak, I think.
Yeah.
So there's a lot
There's
going on.
more work going on behind the scenes.
Tell everybody I'll have a live stream at 11:30 while it's going on. But that's it for this show, really. Just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about that.
Check it out.
We appreciate that. Oh, there's 3,000 people following. That's nice.
Thank you.
Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vessel.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Joy Evans.
Superman Cosmo. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.